Welcome, welcome, welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Aaron Moriarity. I will be your host, and we're going on a quest for truth together. Yes, welcome to the program, folks. I'm so glad to see that people are getting the notification. I think it's because hold on a second. Hello, Aaron speaking. You're on the air. Hey, how you?
Hey, this is Mike calling in.
Hi, Mike. How you doing?
Good. I was watching it earlier today, and you had that gentleman calling in. Gosh, what was his name? But he was late calling in.
Oh yeah, Brooks Agnew.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
Great guy.
oh, he had so much information. It was amazing.
I know. Yeah, he's amazing. He is.
Yeah.
That was a great show.
Have you heard from Andy since then? You know.
Yeah, actually, I sent him a copy of that show to watch. So I haven't heard back from him yet since he's watched it, though.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hi.
Yeah, I was just giving a shout out. Couldn't remember if you're having a show. What is it, Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
Yeah.
It's probably Monday, so you're probably having a show.
Yeah, we actually just started it. So, so congratulations. You're the first one on today.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This is Mike the
I
Fireman.
didn't know that. Being a guy that knows this guy, I should know that. But no, I was just calling in. I'm having a kind of a stressful moment. I hurt my back, and
Oh, no.
I'm just having one of those moments, it's like, dang it,
Oh, no. Well, hello, Mad Poke. Let's all send our prayers to Mike the Fireman for his back to heal up. Probably fell off a burning roof or something, huh?
No, just lifting people, very heavy people,
Oh,
in
my.
awkward positions, and it's always up or down steps somehow.
Oh, gosh.
Or at 2 a.m. when you're not even woke up yet. It's. I love doing what I'm doing. I was a volunteer before I became a paid fireman.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand the both worlds of volunteer and professional. And let me just say, a lot of these volunteer people are professional.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I lived that world. I was on a dive team for years, and I was international dive team trained. Looking for bodies and evidence.
Oh, my goodness.
Waters, and knowing how to do evidence, and on a scene when people are pointing at a certain direction, you can make a sketch, and when other agencies show up, you have witness accountability stuff and all that.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And I've done it years ago, and I was on a volunteer department. And look, you from up north, you're way up north. I guarantee you got people up around there that were doing this way before we did it down here. And I got dive certified in 91.
Wow.
And I know up in Wisconsin, you guys have been doing that for many years before we were looking into that stuff, So your people up there, your volunteers and your people, they're all professional in my world, for sure,
Yeah, and thank goodness for everyone who does work like that, because, we all know someone who has needed someone to come and help them when they've fallen or something happens. So thanks for your service. Thank you for your service. And did you happen to get a hold, did you watch the Trump rally?
I did, and RSBN did have it, and I missed the first part,
mm-hmm.
And then part of it, we got our med unit got a call, and the other guys were at an apron sitting out front, and then it started to replay itself.
Oh, okay.
So
good.
RSBN does a great job. If you miss the first part of the rally, they repeat it again.
That's awesome.
So that was very nice, and I was just wanting to see it on Ripto because I love when he narrates. And when Thomas is on it, I just giggle about stuff.
Mhm.
But since it cancels on Saturday, I know that Red Pill, he's finally taking a days off because he has a Red Pill girlfriend or Red Pill wife now,
Mhm.
and which he needs to. And now he's taking Sundays off, and I'm totally fine with that, you know.
Mhm. Yeah.
So it's all good, you know. Totally good.
Yeah.
And my divorce came through last week, actually.
Congratulations.
It's official.
Yeah.
And her and I are getting along very well, and most people probably don't have the same scenario that I've got right now. So
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you got
yeah.
lucky. You did it right. Like I said, I think you should write a book about it. I think it's great. And Andre Little joined us. Hello, Andre. And everybody else. Mad Pogue and Peggy Dancer. Lots of people here. So did you see that Trump called out the firemen and the rescue people?
I did not see that part. No.
He did.
No.
And as he was walking away, he was walking towards the emergency vehicle and he pointed to them and waved at them and, you know, acknowledged them. So yeah, he's like the people's.
I heard that he was more mellow than other speeches.
Yeah.
Maybe because he is in Nebraska and Greenfield. That's like 20 miles west of me right now. I'm in Iowa.
Wow.
And
wow.
That's just right over the Missouri River in Nebraska. Then you just go another 10 miles and you're in Greenwood. And my sister gets her truck worked on over there. My sister's like a cow chick. She does team roping and all that. There's a facility right out there where you can do the team sorting and all that. It's called Chance Ridge, and a lot of the cowboy people go right over there. And then they travel and then circuit around the country.
Wow.
And they work out from there, you know.
That's awesome.
And I've never been a country person. I'm just like, somehow I ended up getting conservative throughout life. We were growing up as like Democrats, like most all of us.
I know.
Yes.
Yes.
And at some point, you just kind of like, you realize that,
right.
wait a minute, that's not me or whatever's happening.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
And you just evolve that way. Yeah. You know, it's a weird.
I got to say thank you to Peggy Dancer. She dropped a super chat. Thank you so much, Peggy Dancer. That was very kind of you.
Awesome.
And
you have a very good base following you. I mean, so many great people. I mean, that's really what I like to sit back and watch because I hear Dark Brain and everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, great names, great people.
I know it.
True patriots, and I appreciate that. It just warms my heart. And God bless everybody out there. I mean, amen.
Yes.
You know, we're in tough times, and like Aaron knows, we met because Mike was stressed, and Mike seen the world, and I was like, oh my God. Whew. Mm-hmm. Aaron's been like the best buddy ever, and I think everybody out there can probably understand he's like doing the same thing that he did for me to all you. And it's just, hey, let's just be calm about this and figure it out, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're in a situation down here, you know, so it's like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's ever been as much blatant lawlessness that goes unaccounted for and unpunished. And it's ridiculous at this point, you know. They might as well just write up two different sets of laws and just say, okay, here it is.
Yeah. And your Agnew guy just hit it. There's like some force where they can't touch certain people. And it's like, and that's why we're sitting back on, are you kidding me? Wait a minute. I mean, come on.
But
Hillary just did this and this and this and this, but yet it doesn't matter now, but yet we were yelling at Trump because he did what? He did nothing?
Well,
I mean, and then we've got part of our families are like believing this other part. No, this is truly deep.
Yes.
What your buddy Agnew just drug up. We've been dealing with this. Mm-hmm. It's so true. I'm like, oh my God.
But you know what?
There's more to this story,
They might have the charm of dark favor, but Teflon Trump has the charm of godly favor, I believe. I think, because nothing's sticking to him either. So, but he's got the people behind him, and I think that's his strength, you know.
Yeah, there's so much disinformation too that, look, as a group, as a community, as a Q group, as all the anons,
Mm-hmm.
there's still a lot of stuff we can't grasp yet. I mean, and there's a lot of stuff that's been done to us that we don't even realize. And oh my gosh, I mean, you look at the damage. Just look at the damage that we see now with the tiny kids in the mask. What has been done to us for all these years?
Mm-hmm.
We don't even know.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
There's so much out there still that our consciousness can't grasp.
Yeah.
You know,
very true.
I sit there and I sit back and I go, all right, we think we have our paradigm set right here. Our paradigm keeps shifting a little bit, and we're waiting for the masses. But yet, us as a community, if you think about it, how dug in we are, I really think there's so much true. I mean, come on, who's going to be the first to rest? Let's just throw it out that way.
Well, you know,
right, give me your most shocking arrest right now. Just give me that right now.
Just remember, patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. And he who laughs last laughs the best. And we're seeing all of their stuff unraveling. And boy, they sure did lose a nut with this whole Twitter being purchased and the Ministry of Truth being the unconstitutional.
Even look at, and we know, just showing all of Elon's last tweets, was that just for the show, just to say, hey, I'm on your guys' side, but yet now all of a sudden I'm going to switch? You know what I'm saying? I mean, we know there's misinformation is necessary in this game. We're in a war here.
Sure.
We're in a true war.
That's
why Trump is saying, aha, I had the word speed thing and all that. I did this and that and that and that. Yeah. We are truly in a war, and there's going to be casualties one way or the other. You just can't sit here and just got it up the way you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you really think, look, Rod Rosenstein, we just heard that. Maybe that is a situation where that dude flipped.
Yeah, maybe. That could be, yeah.
Elon Musk. Maybe Elon flips, and this Twitter deal is real.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, there's so many aspects of all this stuff, and we get all this, oh my God, just look out here, because this guy might be that way and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me tell you, if they wanted us, they got us. I mean, really think about it. They really got us. There are people fighting for us. If there was not people fighting for us, they would have us already. I mean, come on. How many of us paid attention? And just your guest on the other night, the Agnew guy, and talking about the stuff where the legislators got to do this and all that, and we just got to step up here and there. And then Red Pill had that lady on last year, and I'm like, no, I don't want that. I want the instant justice now. And my cell phone is in my head.
Yeah.
And all these people that are decimating their family and everybody and all this evil. I just want it to stop now. But we don't realize it goes so deep. This is truly evil, and this is truly deep.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
It really is. It really is.
That's what makes it so tough, and that's why thank you for being the person you are and the audience you have and all that. We're not out of this yet, and I think it's going to be. I yelled and I screamed when you had Maxwell Smart on, and I said, we need the teeter-totter to tumble and all that. Is it teeter-totter tumbling yet? I don't know. It's got to be close to balance right now, but I just want these deep state people to throw it off the top and the other ones to win, and they go back into lunch and it's done. You know? Well,
you know, like Dave at X22 Report says, the bullhorn is being taken back from the deep state. And look at Truth Social, #1 on iTunes for the past 6 or 7 days. And I also have to say thank you to Catherine Weiss for her generous super chat. Thank you so very much. Yeah, and I also have to put a word in for our fellow content creator, Jacob Waters, who lost his second YouTube channel, which is just a shame. So let's pray that gets resolved.
He will overcome. He is such a great guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
I only know him because of you, Aaron. I mean, just like last year, the year before, everybody out there listening, I got like 4 acres to mow and another 2 acres, and I sit on a big zero turn with headphones on, and I just love Aaron's podcast, and I listen to all of you guys out there, and it just calms me, and I love mowing now because it's like I have my force. I feel like I'm in the force. You know, I'm like Yoda on a zero turn. You know, it's amazing. Thank you, everybody out there. You know,
you're welcome, and thank you too for your service. I mean, you guys don't get thanked enough. I mean, we know how to. We
have so many new young people on the department now, and oh my God, a lot of them are very well set. They're so mature. If I was as mature as some of these people right now, I would be like a czar and even beyond chief. We have very good people come up above us, but a lot of them have been entrapped in this mass thing, and they want to travel and they want to get jabs and all that. And I pulled a few of them aside. I showed red pill stuff. I showed a lot of stuff, and I said, "Hey, do you want to have kids? Do you know what's in this?" And I've helped as much as I can as a Christian and as a person of faith, a person in this community, and a patriot. I've tried as much as I can to wake people up. And it is the hardest thing to do in this world. And everybody here listening right now knows that, because we got family that wanted to listen. I mean, oh my God, you know, but let's just keep our heads up and hope that God will prevail one way or the other. If you got the jab and you still love God, maybe you're protected. Let's just keep our heads up,
right,
and just hope, you know.
And if you feel like
this whole thing's so stressful, you know, so stressful.
And if you feel like you can't go on or you can't face another whatever, just remember God is inside you, and that's powerful. You can do it. You got all the backup that you need.
It's tough. I'm in an agency that is sworn to protect the citizens of this city from fires and any other disasters, and our chief still has us wearing masks, and he won't. Some of us brought it to the union meeting. Hey, show us the peer-reviewed documents, the peer-reviewed study, and all that. And our union chief went to him because one of the other guys was denied a COVID thing. And now our chief is acting all stressed. And he was in a captain's meeting not too long ago telling me that, well, I'm not political, but blah, blah, blah. Well, what he's doing is political. And I think the thing is, the problem is, when you look at the hospital, they're deep state run big time. When you look at the pyramid structure, so here's a fire chief. You got to make sure that your troops are going into the hospital, right? Because that's where all the money is, and that's where all the shit's going on. And that's what I'm telling my firefighters. And I've got everybody right now, not wearing a mask unless we're in a rest home or in the hospital. Until we got a couple people on probation, and then they're not listening to me, and they're just wearing it everywhere because they just want to keep their jobs.
Yeah.
You know. But I'm trying to do the best I can to fight every which way. But thank God I've got this community that I found out way back when thinking Dogface was running. I know who's
Thick ankle Dogface, yeah.
I remember Thomas saying that stuff.
Yeah, on Red Pill, yeah.
Yeah, so let me just tell you, we have a great community of people, and we're still fighting the good fight. Just keep your heads up. I think, and we know kind of said something the other night where he thinks some of the people that he knows dropped on the line and says They think they're going to try to drop another pandemic. They're going to do a lot of shit. Dude, they ain't over yet.
Yeah.
They're going to fight. They're fighting to the death. You know?
Well, they can come out with another pandemic, but I've got another Invisimask already in the works. So bring it on, baby. Bring it on. Bring it on.
There you go.
We can handle it.
My dad, when he was alive, God bless my dad. My dad, years ago, was saying, this news is bullshit. I remember my old neighbor guy down the street. He was an old Union Pacific Railroad worker, and he was a Serbian dude. And they called him Iron Ass Obradovich. His name was Obradovich. And he was a badass dude. My dad was a badass dude. Oh, if I was as badass as my dad, I'd just walk out there and take it to each day. I stayed out by myself right now.
Well, we are collectively all together, and we're doing it the right way. The way that,
exactly.
we won't be, doing time for how it was resolved.
Well, just let me tell you, my dad was a badass, and he grew up during the '62 riots, and we had a meat market, Cobb Murray's Meat Market, and he got taken out during the riots, and there was no insurance company to back it up whatsoever. And so,
wow.
I may not have been a fireman until '54 with a bad back. Maybe I was been 32 and been a millionaire. Who knows? But whatever.
Yeah. Well,
no worries. But I guarantee I got better values now, and I've learned a lot of better friends, and I understand what freedom is, and I'm very thankful for what I got. Let me tell you. Oh my gosh.
Yes, we all need to be.
I'm blessed, and I think we're all blessed here.
My dad was pretty tough too. My dad used to tell us all the time where he grew up in Staples, Minnesota, that every house that you went down the block got tougher and tougher and tougher, and he lived on the end of the block.
There you go.
So that was,
there you go.
That he was a tough guy. He had to jump the train to get to school. He had to jump over a moving train sometimes to get to school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
We know it all genetically didn't pass because, there you go. I would know. But, dang. Well, thanks for having me on, Aaron. I'm just going to kick out Aaron.
Okay.
And maybe listen here in a little bit. But shout out to everybody out there, Peggy Dancer and everybody. Oh, and Heidi Pop, I heard she was on the other night. That was really neat to hear her come back. Oh, yeah, what a great personality.
Oh, yeah.
You have so many great people listening. It's amazing.
I know it. I know. I'm so grateful for the intranet. It introduces us to all kinds of cool people.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, wow. Like I told you one time before, I had a slight dream, like, someday I'll meet you somewhere at a convention. You won't even know my face, but I'll know yours. And that will be probably most of your audience. And we'll come, Aaron, oh my God. You're like, who's this guy? I'm the firefighter Flylight. You'd be like, oh my God. And I'll get this giant hug probably, hey, whatever. I hope so.
Well.
But I would like to meet a lot of people that you're in your clan, and what a great people you got. You got an army of surrounded around you. So
yes,
amen.
for you. Oh, and Mud Rabbit says thank you, Mike.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, and Madpoke says good to hear from you, Mike.
Yeah, he's special in my heart. He listened to me here months back, and I appreciate how calm he was. Listen to me then,
Yeah.
I think the teeter-totter is closer now,
Oh, yeah.
Hey, no worries.
Yeah,
all right, everybody have a good night. I'm just going to go do what I got to do, and thank you, Aaron, for having me on.
You're welcome, buddy. Thanks for calling. Talk to you soon.
All right, take care.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Well, what a pleasant surprise that was. We heard from our good friend, Mike, the fireman, and say a little prayer for him, if you will. He's got back problems. And, he does very important work, and he needs his back because he helps people. He's a fireman and a rescue guy. So, yeah. Thank you, Mike. Hope your back heals. Yes. And that's from Peggy Dancer. Great way to start the show, Mad Pogue says. Yeah. And thank you, everybody in the chat. And hello, Abby, and everyone else I didn't say hi to yet. Hello. And thank you to our 2 super chatters. Thank you very, very much. It's very much appreciated. Guess what we're going to do now, friends? We're going to do another unboxing. Because guess what? Oh, you know what? I guess I can't do the unboxing. I'll have to take that off of the title because I forgot I have to have the other background. I had to take off my green screen. But I have another one of these Corey Good comics or graphic novel. See, it's completely invisible. I should have turned that off. I should have set it up. Well, next episode, we will. I'll open it up, and we might do something interesting with this second one. So just keep that in mind. We might do something special. Okay. Hey, it's Star says, my mom has a bad back. Give her some lovable wishing. Her name is Betty, like Betty Boop. Yes, let's all pray for her too. And anybody else who needs prayer. Let's pray for them and send your positive energy to them. Very good. Yeah. So that's that. Now, I got a call from my good friend, Bruce Holmes, last night, and we talked for a while. And he's really encouraging me to move forward quicker with my procurement of some new equipment so I can have my voice be in line with my vocals. Because I guess my sound isn't lining up with my mouth movements. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that? So something, it might be my bandwidth. Let me see. Yeah. So I have to figure that out now. It might be. Nope, that's not it.
North Dakota.
Uh-oh.
That's to Brigham Young
That's
University.
not good. That's not good.
Then to
That's
Western
not
Kentucky.
good. Stop. All right. Too many tabs open. I'm telling you. And yeah, thank you to Kathy for that super chat. I'm sorry I missed that at first. I was paying attention to the caller. It kind of takes my attention away. So I'm sorry about that. I missed that at first. Yeah. Oh. Yes, all is well with Bruce. Yes. He's got a lot more episodes. So go check out his podcast, Timeless Voyager series. My mom, Betty Boop, seen a UFO on Halloween night in the 80s, and I believe her. Other people seen it too. All right. Yep. Lots of people have seen them. I mean, the people who haven't seen them are the minority, I believe. That's what I think. Because a lot of people will see something and they'll just discount it right away. That was probably just a blah, blah, blah. You know, because they don't even want to think about it. Even if they saw something miraculous. You know? Which brings us up to this. Now, when I was talking to Bruce last night, he brought up, he's talking about something about Palo Alto, California. And I asked him if he'd ever heard of the Palo Alto Dragonfly drones, the CARET Dragonfly drones. And so, yeah, we've talked about that here before. But we're going to talk about it again, okay? So we're going to share a screen here. And the Dragonfly drones, otherwise known as the California drones, all right. Well, all right. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. All right. A little bit of hiccup here. Trying to find. All right. Here we go. Here's something. It's not the one I was looking for, but so up in the upper right corner here is the Dragonfly drone. Okay. So now CARET stands for uh, what is it? It was a secret program put on in Palo Alto, California, to find commercial applications for extraterrestrial technology. Now, what happened was a couple people saw these things, those strange-looking craft up in the right-hand corner, upper right-hand corner, flying around, darting around like a dragonfly. That's why they call them dragonfly drones or California drones. This is from back in the early 90s, late 80s, I believe. And they're crystal clear and they have some kind of writing on the bottom. Commercial application for research into extraterrestrial technology. That's what CARET stands for. And PACL, Palo Alto CARET Project, or Linguistics, something like that. So now what happened was, so these photographs appear and they're just amazing photographs. Like you can't even believe it. And they're crystal clear and they obviously don't have people in them. They're not big enough to have a person in them. Doesn't look like they are. And then some researcher did some research and he found out that there was a patent applied for by an electric company, a power company in California, for these drones that would fly above power lines and that they would detect any breaks in the wires so they could send teams to that exact spot. But also in the patent, it described that they also have a cloaking mechanism so that no one could see them. However, this guy Isaac comes out after this big internet storm. I believe it was in the early 90s, when the internet was just a buzz with this. People were really curious and more pictures were showing up and people were talking about, oh yeah, I saw him back in 85. So this guy Isaac comes out and he has all this documentation and he says he was one of the people at this Palo Alto PACL CARET project, working to reverse engineer anti-gravity from this alien technology for commercial use. And so that patent really kind of explained. And Isaac said that this cloaking mechanism sometimes wouldn't work when there was microwave radiation in the area. And, you know, we all know that the military uh, experiments with that, and also cell phones. Cell phones started to become a thing. And so I think these things started to become visible at certain points. And that's how they got these very, very interesting photographs. Now, I just want to read a little bit about the technology that Isaac worked on. Isaac is not his real name. And he had a website set up, but it's not up anymore. And no one knows where this guy is. You know, there are only a certain number of people on these programs. They might have hunted him down, which is sad. So all we have is what's been archived. And this is from some of that archive material that he put out. And he said, okay, do you drink water? Excuse me. A lot of the technology we worked on was what you would expect, namely anti-gravity. Most of the research on the staff with backgrounds in propulsion and rocketry were military men. But the technology we were dealing with was so out of this world that it didn't really matter all that much what your background was, because none of it applied. All we could hope to do was use the vocabulary of the respective fields as a way to model the extremely bizarre new concepts we were very slowly beginning to understand as best we could. A rocket engineer doesn't usually rub elbows much with computer scientists, but inside PACL, we were all equally mystified and were ready to entertain any and all ideas. Now, I have to go ahead and, so this was, okay, looks like 2007 is when this was on his website. So now, Isaac wasn't dealing a lot with the specific anti-gravity part of it, but he was working on the linguistics. And now on those photographs, those very clear photographs, some of them are like from right underneath them, you can see strange hieroglyphs printed on the panels of these things. And that's what Isaac was working on. So yeah. So we're going to get something else up there. I hope that, okay. So check this out, friends. This is a page from the documents that he snuck out of the Palo Alto, California labs. Okay. So this is page 119 from the Linguistics Primer by PACL for the CARET project. So let me get to that. I need to get to that raw. Image. Okay. Is that it? Nope, that's not it. Is that it? Nope. There it is. So you can see up here, Palo Alto, CARET Laboratory, Linguistics Analysis Primer. Now, they called it linguistics because they didn't know what to call it. It really wasn't a language. And he said that when these images and symbols were printed in a certain way on a certain type of material and then subjected to a certain type of energy field, they would literally perform a function. It's like if you could write, let's say if you wrote some computer code on a piece of paper and put it on a table, and then all of a sudden it would start doing things. That's what this is like. It was like magic to them. Even when they started to understand it, they were totally mystified by it. And so, yeah, I think these twirly things are like gravitational eddies created when these symbols are put in these kind of configurations. Very interesting. And apparently this field of dipping of gravity, where it lessens the gravity, there were two engines, and when the two engines were close to each other, they would just start functioning. There was no on-off switch, no moving parts, and parts of the craft that they had there, just a few parts, they would fly up into position when these things were close enough to activate. So it's like magic. It's incredible. And let me see. Okay, he goes on to say the physicists made the most headway initially because out of all of our skills, theirs overlapped the most with the concepts behind this technology, although that isn't saying much. Um, so he goes on to say the anti-gravity was amazing, of course, as were the advances we were making with materials engineering and so on. But what interested me the most then, and still amazes me the most to this day, was something completely unrelated. In fact, it was this technology that immediately jumped out at me when I saw the Chad and Rajman photos, and even more so in the Big Basin photos. So he's talking about specific photographs. And he says, I put the word language in quotes because calling what I'm about to describe a language is a misnomer, although it is easy to make that mistake. Their hardware wasn't operated in quite the same way as ours. I kind of just described that to you in kind of a condensed way. So yeah, it's very, very unusual. And so I'm going to try and find, yes, okay, some more pictures like this one. I wonder if that's, all right, let's go back here and get that one up. See, I love this this case because it's got so much information about it. Now, some people claim it's debunked because when it first came out, a lot of people, even years after, they would get their CGI things out there and they'd make these things and they'd try to pass them off as a new picture. But you could clearly tell which ones were the phony ones. At least I could tell. So here is kind of from the bottom looking up at one of these craft, and you can see just how bizarre this must have been to see in person. I mean, it's pretty incredible. Another photo of the mysterious drone object was taken by a different person at a different location at a different time. So this kind of describes, you know, where Isaac kind of came in. But look at that, friends. Just take a look at that. Now, I wonder if I can do some adjustment here. Let me check the chat a little bit. Okay, everyone's cozy over there. So we're going to kind of brighten this up a bit. Wait a minute. Oops, I got the wrong one. No, that's the right one. Oh, I don't think it's going to let me do it because it's not a PNG. It's a PDF. Is it? Yeah, it's a PDF. So these things won't. I can't adjust it. Oh, that's unfortunate. Somewhere I have some photos of this, but you can see the writing up here. You know, here, here, and here. But isn't this thing strange? Can you imagine seeing something like that, taking a picture of it that clear? And a lot of people did. Hey, Dark Brain's in the house. Um, there you go. Good to hear from Dark Brain. And look who else is here. Ralph. Internet is crashing. I have to go check the black box once in a while. Okay. Yeah, I'm out here in the sticks too. Sometimes I'm broadcasting from on top of the telephone pole, just like on Green Acres. Yeah, that's about what it is out here. Kind of like that. There he is. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Okay, so I've always thought that these were interesting. Now, some company used these photos in their advertising and the language or the symbols. And so there was some speculation that this company was doing this all as a ruse to get, some attention on their product line. But what happened when this hit the internet so wildly that people came forward with pictures that they'd taken from way back in 85, 86 of these same things. So it wasn't something that was just developed by this company for their advertising campaign. That is a fake narrative that tried to throw you off the track because this is something real. I really believe this Isaac guy, the way he writes about all the details of what he experienced, it just seems legitimate to me. And my discernment says this is legit, too legit to quit, you know? And so, yeah, I got that one up, don't I? Okay, well, yeah, let's get this other one up there and show you the engine or the one of the two power sources or whatever they are. I mean, it's kind of unclear. Kind of unclear. Okay, now I got to find that one too. All right. It's the one with the motor on it. There it is. So you see these pieces here? These are actually locked into place because this is activated. And they have this writing on it, these linguistics, just like this thing does. And he said that the craft is held together by these things. Stuff just stays where it's supposed to be because it's subjected to this field that reads the commands that are imprinted on the parts. It's quite remarkable, actually. And it's so different from anything that we have that for someone to try to think this up. Hello, Special K. Welcome to the program. Good to see you here. Life took a deep dive. Oh no. Well, good. We have your back too. Just like God. But that's great. I'm glad that you're doing better. And I'm glad you're here. So those things fly into place and they move. Okay. So, okay. The two I-beam structures, note that both I-beam structures are floating above the surface and are connected to the main unit without any physical attachment. That's right. Many different witnesses came forward at the time of the disclosure from all different professions and walks of life and sightings spanning as far back as 1985. The testimony of these individuals is very hard to ignore. However, the subject matter has been largely ignored thanks to a deliberate debunking campaign. That campaign centered around the misinformation that these craft were simply products of a CGI manipulation. Yet the sincerity, depth, and breadth of the witnesses' testimony obliterates that theory that this was just a CGI or a viral marketing. Some CGI videos appeared, but they were obvious fakes and had nothing in relation to the truth of the subject. So there it is. Isn't that remarkable? I just think this is fascinating. And I want to show for you a little video that someone took. Now, Linda Moulton did a number of shows on these Dragonfly drones, these California drones, years ago. And so someone took her voice and combined it with some clever music and some really slick CGI graphics. And they put together this little kind of a music video of the Dragonfly drones. And I want to show that for you here so that you can see that. All right. Let's see. So let's get to that. Share. Let's see if this is going to work. See, I don't know. It says screen share or video file. Is it a video file if it's a YouTube? Is that a video file? I don't know. Not quite sure. But at any rate, here is the video. And now I got to find it. There it is. Is this it? There it is. Okay, we got to rewind it here. Okay. And I got to turn up the volume. And let's play this.
Something's out there floating around that is highly efficient. Dragonfly shaped aerial object in the sky that has a ring body, a long tail, and a variety of appendages extending from the ring.
I noticed on the side of a tree what looked like a ring, and it had these long, elongated wires stuck out of the top, and it just sort of curved and went up and just sort of disappeared. It looked like they just sort of faded out.
Very odd aerial object.
It had a shape like nothing I've ever seen. The body of the base looked to be like a circle. I could see these patterns on the bottom of it, but it looked like some type of hieroglyphics.
Mystery of the Dragonfly-shaped aerial drones took another turn with the release of an alleged secret report containing photographs of alleged extraterrestrial technologies entitled Commercial Applications Research for Extraterrestrial Technology. Are they back engineered by American engineering abilities from the extraterrestrial technology, or are we still seeing literal extraterrestrial technology at work? greater understanding of extraterrestrial technology obtained from crash site recovery operations. Crash site recovery operations. Those symbols have been studied extensively. The complex system of geometric constructs used for anti-gravity, capable of defining the functionality of such artifacts, as well as manipulating their behaviors. Anti-gravity, and how many of these dragonfly-shaped roads are in the skies of this planet in both hemispheres, and nobody knows because they're invisible.
Yeah, that's scary.
Wasn't that cool? Can you guys even believe it? Can you guys even believe it? Oops. Oh. Oh, you know what? Maybe we should put that back up there. Because it's all the credits. So let's get the credits back up there. All right. Chris Avery. Special thanks to Linda Moulton Howe. Nice smiley face. I think they added the smiley face. Isn't that amazing, folks? Oh, telling ya. I'm telling ya. It's amazing. So that's a fun thing, don't you think? And I put the link to that if you want to see that without the delays that it has with. Well, thank you, Mud Rabbit. Yeah, send your stories and pictures to me, and we'll get them on the air. Very calm and vibey. Yeah, that music rocked. I really like that video in so many different ways for so many different reasons. Now, the idea that the jets would be after it, I don't think that's realistic because, well, maybe that's how they got the pieces. I don't know. Well, who knows, right? I think it was mostly conjecture, that part of it. Hello, Austin Morris. Welcome to the program. Yeah. And you know what? So, oh yeah, this one. Here's another. Now, this is the picture that they actually tried to find this very same telephone pole from one of these photographs that surfaced. And this one, it's really, really clear and you can see a lot of detail. So here's one of the ones that really, so from the 80s to 2007, look at that. That is incredible. So they even hired a couple of private detectives to try and find this very same telephone pole. I mean, I don't know what that would do. I mean, the person who took a picture isn't going to still be standing there, right? And if this is indeed a craft that flies above telephone wires to inspect them, you know, maybe it would be, if it already inspected this part, it's probably not going to be there again, right? I don't know. They never did find this. It's somewhere in California. But yeah. Yeah, you can find some of this stuff still out there, but the actual website that Isaac was running, totally, he never sold anything. He wasn't trying to make money. He just wanted people to know what this was. You know, he's pretty upset that he did that work so long ago and it's still totally top secret. It's the phone company. Yeah, there you go. It's the phone company. Yeah. Yeah, can you imagine seeing something like that? It would totally freak you out. I mean, it would freak you out, right? Yeah, there we are. Very interesting. So yeah, keep an eye out for these things. I mean, they haven't been seen. Who knows? Are they still operating them? Is it cost effective to operate them? I mean, you got a cloaking device, an invisibility device. I mean, you got all this technology. I mean, and you're only using it to, or maybe that's only one of the reasons they're using it. Who knows what they might be using these things for? If they're completely invisible, they could use them for all kinds of reconnaissance. Think about it. The military applications would be unlimited almost if they're invisible, right? I wonder if they're invisible to radar, though. You know, I don't know. Don't know that. Not sure about that. But it's just an interesting thing that I thought you all would love to look at again and take a look at this a little closer. Some of that writing, those symbols there. See those symbols? Yeah. It's crazy. It's so crazy. Let's go a little closer. Got starting to pixelate a little bit there. But look at that. It's quite a little machine there, I'd say. Quite a machine. Very large too. They don't look small. I mean, if I would have to guess, I'd say that's as long as a bus, maybe. Yeah. Or at least maybe a long van. The length of it, you know, from point to point, this point to this point. It looks pretty big. We're glad to see you back too. Special K. Yeah. So there it is. The infamous Dragonfly drones. One of the real sightings of actual human reverse engineered alien technology. Because the military had come to a point where they'd studied this, they couldn't really figure it out, so they brought it to Silicon Valley, Palo Alto, California, to do this. And they said, look, let's just let some of these people take a look at this, let's see if they can figure this out. And they did. And by the time, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, by the time Isaac was done working there, by the time he left, they still did not have a working craft that they were working on, but they were making big headways. So, yeah. Oh, the smaller symbols say this is not a step. Right. Yeah. Don't step here. Hopefully they have their tabs. Yeah. Yeah, that antenna. Yeah. It's very, very strange. And the way they moved, apparently they moved like a dragonfly. That's why they called them the Dragonfly drones. You know? Or the California drones, because that's where they were seen a lot, in California. But unlike most UFO cases, these pictures were crystal clear. So clear you could see all that detail of the writing underneath it. And that when Isaac saw these pictures that showed that writing, that's when he knew that he had to make public all those papers that he snuck out. And he snuck them out at risk of his life. He took like many of them. He like put them kind of like under his shirt, and like 30 pages at a time, so they wouldn't make wrinkling sounds. And so he got him out that way. And there was armed guards there. So, he was risking his life to take these out. So if he was risking his life to take him out, and then he took him out and made him public, and now he's gone, well, maybe he passed away naturally, or maybe they caught up with him. He said in the material that he's reasonably sure that the information he was giving was general enough where they wouldn't be able to figure out who he was. Well, I mean, that's... I think they can figure out who it was, because there wasn't that many people working on the project, right? I mean, he had a website. So if you have a website, it has to be linked to a person. So I'm sure they could find him. And there's no way that they could not find him. So I think they might have found him. And who knows what happened to him. Yeah. There we are. So that's the Dragonfly drones. The Dragonfly drones. Oh, yeah. They are the Dragonfly drones. But I have something else I want to show you, friends. That was our interesting UFO, nostalgic UFO story from the recent past that I don't think has gotten enough attention, Okay. So let's see. Okay, here we go. Now we're cooking with Crisco. Yes, it is pretty amazing. Apparently they had pretty good cameras back then. Now, some of the debunkers look at the linguistics primer and how detailed those printouts are, and they claim, oh, that this was done on Photoshop or something like that, and those really didn't exist to that level at that time. But what they're forgetting is you're dealing with the military. the secret military, and they always have technology that's far ahead of the current technology for like a business or something. So this was not just a business. This was the military. So yeah. And he also said that they had to copy these symbols so precisely. It took them like a month just to log them into the computer and make them just exactly the right exact shape and angles and curvature and distance apart from each other so they could study these things. And yeah, it's endlessly fascinating. They are 50 plus years ahead of what we've been showing. Oh yeah, at least, for sure, at least, right? I agree. Or possibly much more. Oh, and don't forget the Truth Quest merch. I need a new shirt. I'm wearing mine out. Red pill your friends without saying a word with your Invisimask t-shirt. Very good, because they're trying to bring another one out here, friends. But we gotta just slap that Invisimask in their face, snap it, grab them. I just snapped your Invisimask on you, haha. And let them know they got the state-of-the-art Invisimask on. Yeah. No, it's not. Nothing like the Voynich manuscript at all. Nothing. It's not a language. It's like a computer program. All the symbols, when arranged in certain patterns and printed onto a certain type of material, subjected to a certain type of field, I'm assuming electromagnetic field, they perform a function. It's like magic. It's like if you could write a computer program code on a piece of paper and put it on a table and have it do something. That's what this was like. That's how he described it. It's like magical. And they had to just, forget about their training, no matter what they were trained in, and start from scratch and try to figure out what the heck this stuff was. And they did. They did. And they got a lot further than the military did, apparently, because they had, flying examples of it that were photographed years later. So here is another. Now, someone put this out. I'm not sure if this was actually part of the original info, or if this was something someone just drew up. I'm not sure. So let's see if we can clear this up a little bit so we can maybe read it. I don't know. It looks like a periodic table or what each symbol represents or does magnetically or in the program sequence. Because what they do is they can propagate. If these are put in the right positions on a certain type of material and subjected to a field, it can create a well of no gravity, and that can be any size, and they can put it anywhere. It's like amazing. There's no buttons, no moving parts. It works. He said like magic. It was like magic, but they figured it out. It wasn't really magic. Looks like Hebrew. Well, it really is not a language, though. It's like software that when you print it, it will do things. It's bizarre. It's hard for us to even imagine or picture, even with having someone who worked on it describe it. It's that foreign. So Yeah, so much information. And you know, when you're walking around, friends, it's springtime, you know, and when you see a sign that says, you know, stay off the grass, you know, you usually should obey those signs, right? So here's one I came across just the other day, just today actually. There it is. Dang, I was planning on playing football there. Keep off the grass. Look at that. Oh, it looks like not really good grass either. Like it looks like the only spot where people bring their dogs is what it looks like. A little bit of nature in the middle of a city. Isn't that nice? Look at that. It's so nice to see nature. Yeah. Ball. Yeah. Yeah. Keep off the weeds. I thought that was pretty good. I like that one. I like it a lot. Someone had to make that sign. Oh, too funny. We need laughs. We need laughs. You know, I like to laugh a lot, but I can only look in the mirror for so long. Ba-doom-pa. Then I got to find something else to laugh about, right? There you go. Yeah, I like that. It's mucho culo, don't you think? Okay, open already. All right, there we go. All right. Ba-dum-pa. That's right. There's my drum roll. All right, let's get rid of that and get this up there. Lickety split. So here is the first page of that tranche of documents that he released, and a lot of it was, you know, blocked out. So commercial application research for extraterrestrial technology, CARET, and it was called PACL, Palo Alto CARET Laboratory, PACL. See, PACL. PACL. You know what though? I'm kind of curious about these areas here that were blacked out. Let's see if we can. No, I don't think we're going to find out what they say. Sometimes you can squeeze out a little bit of information by doing this. You can see something. No, they must have had a pretty good Sharpie that day. But sometimes you can find things if it's redacted the old-fashioned way, like this was obviously just a marker. So sometimes you can find that. And we got another call. Hello?
Hello.
It's Max. Good to hear from you, Max. How are you doing?
Good. Actually, I'm feeling much better.
Well, good. That's good.
Thanks to some help from Carl.
Oh, yeah?
I tried some of the MMS.
Okay.
I'm not a full treatment yet, but I can tell you that it's made an impact, a positive impact. So.
Well, that's good. Yeah, a good guy to talk to find out information on that is Jordan Sather. Always talks about that. So.
Oh yeah.
He's good on that. Yeah.
I heard him long ago talking about it, but
I could never find somebody who could give me information about how they probably use it.
Well, let's call it M&Ms.
M&Ms. Okay.
So that we can get around those algorithms.
Right. M&Ms.
Yeah.
Anyway.
MMs.
I
MM.
thought
MMs.
this thing I had the digits and you get 45 when you had the digits.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Did you hear his speech the other day?
No, I didn't.
It was very
Sure
good.
was good. What?
It was very good. Well, he got to brag about Truth Social being #1 in the App Store for like 6 days. That's pretty good.
Oh, wow.
Ahead of everybody. Yeah.
How did I miss it? What was it on? Where did you hear it?
RSBN. He postponed it because of rain or severe weather one day, and then the next day he did it. It was in where was that? His last. Oh, maybe the chat can tell me. Was it Pennsylvania? Or no, Ohio. Was it Ohio? My drive, it says I
hate missing those because a lot of most of the time there's at least one thing in there that's meant as a message.
Well, you can always go back to RSBN on Rumble, or if they're still on YouTube. It might have been taken down off of YouTube, but
yeah, okay.
Maybe they aren't done in there.
Do you know which show on RSBN?
Pardon?
Do you know which show on RSBN? There's a bunch of shows on that.
Well, it was Trump's rally from the other day.
Oh, okay, yeah, they play all those things, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah, they do a good job. Okay. They do a really good job. You know, it's interesting because right when the rally was going on, Mike called, and he called in tonight too earlier. Mike the fireman.
Fireman.
Yeah, and he was wondering if Red Pillow was going to simulcast it because he usually does that, and he was going to do that with the rally the night before, but they had bad weather, so they postponed it till the next day, and then he wasn't doing it. So I told him to check RSBN because he was at the firehouse. And he was playing it for all the other folks at the fireplace house place. So that was good, and he actually called out firemen and rescue people while he was there. So that was pretty incredible.
Cool.
He really is the people's president. I've never seen a president that was more loved by the average person for good reason, because he was actually doing something for them.
Well, he was meant for this moment too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, this is what he was. This is what he was put on the planet for.
Yeah.
It's obvious.
All those years of dealing with the mob in New York really helped him when he was dealing with the media, because it's the same thing, right. Same people probably.
It's clear he's found his purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
That's true of everybody. When they found their purpose, you know it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like everybody knows it, really.
Greenwood, Nebraska. And Peggy Dancer was there.
Oh.
So how did I miss that? Yeah. So that's where it was.
That's cool. You know, I think people need to take stock in, the fact that, he's calm. There's a lot of people out there that see the world around us and they panic and think that what 17 is told is no longer true or something, and that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have faith in something.
Yeah.
Of course, I prefer faith in God, the source, but you can have faith in our past president. We know he's not going to let us down,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not going to let him down either. Our military. How many times has our military lost?
Mm-hmm.
Lost.
Yeah.
our military would go down without a fight. Come on.
Have you seen the videos that Jason Woke Up in Vegas has been putting out? I can't remember his real name, but he's at the border, right by one of the holes, kind of between two of the holes in the wall, and
Right?
and it's on the other side of the fence is cartel property, and
Huh?
so these kids come through and they have a slip of paper with a phone number on it. They take these kids and they give them Bibles and care packages and they feed them, and they have them call their sponsors, and this slip of paper that they're given with the phone number on it, and they they track who these people are, where they're going, and so it's really quite amazing what they're doing down there. And then they call Border Patrol and they come and get the kids, and they kind of keep tabs on they have people go and check up where these addresses were to kind of make it uncomfortable for them if something's going wrong bad. And these two women came up, and he's filming all the time down there. He's a great guy. He's the guy with the beard that's has some gray in it. He's a really cool guy. He's one of the guys that carried that 100-year-old veteran down to a closer seat at one of the Trump rallies.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
The rally.
Yeah. So he was filming, and two ladies come up, and they're asking questions. Oh, you camping out
Was
here?
it the first time Red Pill went? I think that's the first time Red Pill went to a rally. I vaguely remember him talking about that.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
But maybe that was, I don't know if it was the same one. I think that was an indoor one. But so these two women were asking questions. He goes, "Oh, who are you? Are you with the? Oh, we're journalists." And he was like, "Oh, who are you with?" And they were being kind of vague. And he was telling them what they were doing, that these kids were being trafficked, and they were keeping tabs on them, helping them out. They were looking surprised. And so they finally said, "Oh yeah, we're with the mainstream media." He goes, "Oh, let me who are you with? Let me check out what kind of articles you're at, because I've had hit pieces written on me." "Oh really? Yeah, I'm one of these crazy Q guys. That's what they called me." And he described that whole thing, and they finally said, "Yeah, New York Times." They were the New York Times. They're there all day, and curiously, they were there when a bunch of kids came out, and he's asking them. They're watching everything that's happening. Do you think it's a bad thing that these kids had a meal before they were sent off? No, we didn't say it's bad. Well, they're creating a narrative, so it's good that he's down there doing that, because that's just a needed thing, very needed. So I'm going to try and find that that channel. He does Facebook things, and he does, I think he has a YouTube channel too. So let me see if I can find him. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's see if I can find him. Well, I'm not getting any notifications from it. I don't know if he was taken down already. I can't remember the name of his channel. Doggone it. I'll check my history and see if I can find it. It's just really really heartwarming what he's doing down there.
There's so many heartwarming stories,
Freedom Rings.
Look around.
Freedom Rings is what it's called.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to show a little bit of that. I wonder if I can. I wonder if he would be okay with that. What do you think? Think I should show a little bit of it? Well, here, I'll get the link here. and put that into the old Chat-O-Matic here. So go check this video out, folks, and follow him. He's doing important work down there, helping the kids being trafficked. They're being trafficked, and he's getting key information to help track these traffickers. So eventually, when we find the good guys, they can, you know, take care of business, you know, like arrest these crooks. And they do background checks on these people. They find out where they're going. They look them up. They find out background checks. And a lot of times they are not good people. They're not good people. These sponsors of these children. So, yeah. Veterans on Patrol. Yes, Peggy Dancer. Yes, he's down there with them. He's not part of their group, but he's down there with them for sure. And they're there too. Yes. That they're doing good work down there. So check that out, friends. It's quite something else. Quite something. And here it is. Okay, I'm going to share this. Okay, now, is this it? Yeah, all right. I have to.
Hey, did you watch that show the other night with Zoso dude with he went through that Beach Boys song? That was
No,
beautiful, all the different instruments in it.
I did not hear it. Was it good vibrations?
Yeah, and I had a friend tell me this evening that the instrument in there that Zoso dude couldn't figure out was a theremin.
Okay.
So if anybody
that was all
tell him.
That was all mixed down mono, you know. He was supposed to do it stereo, but he did it mono. It's a mono recording.
Oh.
And after all those hours, he said, well, just leave it mono.
That show was fun though. He picked through all that. It showed you all the different instruments that were being played in the background.
And then it goes up.
Okay. I'm going to play this little video here a little bit so people can get a flavor of what's going on down there. Here it goes.
Yeah, that's the first one. Then it goes up probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 miles.
Are you hanging out here? What are you doing?
Yeah, we're camped. Just kind of assisting with the kids that are coming over, unaccompanied minors. We're praying with them. We're feeding them before we call Border Patrol, making sure they have all the hygiene and different things they need, sending them off with care packages and different things.
Are you with an organization?
No, there's an organization that's been out here for about 3 years, VOP, Veterans on Patrol. I just came out because I wanted to kind of see what was going on for myself. I've learned over these years that if I have questions, my best bet is to get as close to the source as possible.
Yep.
To gather the information, since I'm not really very trusting of where it comes from these days, you know. So I came out here and prayed about it, and God led me to come out here and just be of service to these kids. What are you guys doing out?
Well, we're journalists.
Nice.
Journalists.
Local here in Arizona?
We're checking out the whole we're doing a story about like what's the state of the border, and we're coming to different places where there are gaps. Like we were in Yuma, where there are gaps in the wall and people are crossing. And the population seems to vary from place to place.
Well, this here, and have you guys been out here yet?
No.
Just so you know, just be aware, this is all cartel-owned property on this backside. It's 2 different cartels that run this whole 10 miles. So everything that comes through here is already bought and paid for. You know, you're paying the cartel to get over. A lot of times these kids are already trafficked. So we run their plates and, you know, we just do a lot of research, follow-up on where they're going, since no one else is doing it right now in this administration. And what they do is Border Patrol takes these kids right on down here to Phoenix or to Tucson to the holding station, and then they bus them to wherever these sponsors' numbers that they give them are. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the process of becoming a sponsor, but it's very wide open with a lot of loopholes. So what we're noticing, and I've got a lot of footage up there too. If you guys ever are like really digging into the story and want to get it out in its entirety. But you have, well, I mean, before that, like I'm gonna bet I need to know who you guys are before I share like any of that. You know what I mean? Because my intent out here is always about the kids. So, but if you guys do decide to do a story, but what these guys do is they give them a piece of paper with a phone number of their sponsor. These guys don't even know who their sponsor is until they get on this cartel ranch, and then they tell them who their sponsor is. So they're already cartel friendly. So that's what we're doing. We're paying for them to go to these guys. That.
Do you think the kids are going to people that they don't actually know? Or?
I know they are from talking to them in video and giving that video footage from these kids. I watch them pull out these papers on their phone numbers, and I hear the interaction as they call their sponsors. And there's no, for instance, if you're a kid, the youngest unaccompanied minor we had was a 6-year-old boy with his 11-year-old sister from Guatemala. So when these kids are calling, you would think that if they're calling a family member, this journey is a long journey, right? For these kids, they hitchhike as well as get brought over, rides from truckers and stuff. But that initial interaction, there's no joy, there's no relief in the people that are talking to them. Like it's a quick little check-in is what it is. And then what we do is we take that phone number and we run it, and we find out who lives there, and we run background checks, and we find all these things about these people of these addresses of where these people are going to. And, the reality is the information's right there. And it's very uncomfortable and sick, and nobody wants to talk about it.
What do you think is happening to the kids?
They're being sex trafficked.
They're what?
They're being trafficked, sex trafficked.
Oh my God.
That's the number one trade. The money, I mean, that's where it's at right now. There's so many things, you've heard a little bit about Epstein. You've heard about Ghislaine Maxwell. You've heard about Harvey Weinstein. You've heard about all these people that we trusted that were in positions of power that didn't have the best interest of the people at heart. Right. And what they've done is they've done such a good job at dividing us and distracting us from all this other shit that ain't relevant that, nobody's paying attention to it. And maybe it's because of the extent of it, and it needs to be a slow drip of information. Right, so we can digest that as a whole, right? Because it's, when you really look at it, it's not very pleasant, But however, that's why we're out here creating the solution and being a part of it.
So I see. So the Border Patrol, are they supportive of your effort, or
some of them?
Where do they come in?
Some of them are very supportive, but a lot of them, they don't want to get in trouble, so they're just doing their job, right? And that, like, they don't want to talk to you. Some of them are very disrespectful, and they'll drive by camp doing 70 miles an hour just to dust us out. A couple weeks ago, we had 5 coyotes in camo and backpacks come down here, and that's why I came down. I saw you guys walking to come check it out. But they jumped in a vehicle. The vehicle takes off. We get behind it, and we're giving Border Patrol the coordinates and letting them know where these guys are turning and going. And Border Patrol was out by the school in Sassabee where the exit is, waiting on them. They saw that. They cut that hard right down that other dirt road that goes this way and comes up back by hole 3. They all got out, started running. Within 3 minutes, Border Patrol had the chopper in the air and got them. Got the vehicle, took them back over. So one of the guys was very appreciative and told us that. But,
What's the youngest age of the crosser you've seen?
the 6-year-old. The 6-year-old boy with his 11-year-old sister from Guatemala.
And what about families? Have you seen any families?
One. I've seen a mom with a 30-day-old and a 3-year-old.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
And then she called. We ran that background check, and the phone number comes back to a guy who's been charged. He has about 8 counts of intimidation. He's got weapons of mass destruction. He's got swastikas all over him on his tattoos.
What?
Yeah, and 4 of the people that are living there, they're already tied into cartel families. 2 out of the 4 people. And that's where the 30-day-old baby and the 3-year-old is going.
So if you track somebody like that, then what do you
We have people that call and do welfare checks and keep showing up to make it uncomfortable for them. Right? We don't run no vigilante operations or nothing like that. We just let them know that we're there, and hopefully it stops that a little bit until we figure out a template.
And when was the last time that you had any kids?
Last night.
Oh, last night.
Yeah. You should see it. It's so cool. Huh? I called Border Patrol. They went with Border Patrol, but it's all on video. But they get so happy. They want to pray. You hear them all start praying in their own language. And the one thing, we give them Bibles, and they hold that Bible so close, like it's their most prized possession right now.
And so every day they class? Or?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
Every
when
day.
are the most popular times?
You never know.
Like they
No.
could show up
Do
right
you think
now.
we can stay with you a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to give me a card, are you guys, who do you work for? Where, I mean, are you citizen journalists? What, I mean, I would like to read some of your guys' article and what kind of narrative and what you guys are writing about different things before I commit to that.
We do work for the
That doesn't matter. You know, I'd like to see how your articles are written. Are they in its entirety or are they chopped up to paint a narrative? And that might not even be you guys. That might be you guys gathering footage and data and turning that over to your bosses, right? So that's my only concern. And if that's what happens, then no.
How many people do you have over there?
A few more on the way. We come and go.
And you have that's your camper? Is that a camper?
Someone donated it for a month for a while so I can come stay in it. And yep.
So this is the first and the other gaps are that way?
Yeah, they're that way.
Maybe we should drive over there.
You should drive. It's really far.
Yeah.
And then if you want, I mean, if you want to give me somewhere I can look some of your guys' stuff up and then I'll research that. And then on the way back, I'll have an answer for
Why
you.
don't we drive up over there and then we'll stop back.
Okay. You don't want to tell me who you work with?
I can tell you I'm with the
New York Times?
Yeah.
You guys have written a few hit pieces about me in the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I was the,
Famous?
no, I mean, not famous. I'm just somebody that participated in this. But I carried the World War II veteran that lived in Phoenix to the seat in the Trump rally. And President Trump gave me a presidential challenge coin. So everybody tried to change the narrative and make that like it wasn't what it was.
Oh, my goodness.
You guys have seen my vest in a couple videos or used it in a couple hit pieces. My Q cut, the leather vest. The family we started. It says Anon's 1972. So, yeah, one of them crazy Q conspiracy guys that wants to just spread some love and help wake up the world and participate in something and change it.
Wait, you said you're a crazy Q conspiracy guy?
Yeah, come on. That's what they call us, right? Because they painted this narrative. So, I don't know. Think about it. Pray about it. And if you guys really, you know,
Can she take a picture of your truck?
she could take one when I'm driving off. I'm not going to pose for a photo op, you know. Because I've been beat up these last 4 years, you know what I mean? And I just stay in the fight. Yeah, I got like 15 different. Huh? Yeah, I don't care. I'm not gonna, but I'm gonna drive off, and then if you guys want to stop by and, you know, where we go when we go off. All right. God bless you guys. Be safe out here. Be aware. Okay.
See how nice he was?
Yeah.
See how nice he was and accommodating? And they just weren't answering him, you know? Just bizarre. You still there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm still here.
What did you think of that? It was pretty interesting.
That
Huh?
was fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's doing the good
Definitely
work.
heartwarming.
Yes. Yes. And, you know, and
but there's millions of stories like that, millions of patriots that in their own way are making a difference.
mm-hmm. And his soft approach like that and his honesty really might have made a difference with these two city girls. I mean, maybe they'll, you know, tonight when they're in their hotel room talking about what they learned. Are they really being trafficked? Oh my God, you know, because they seemed like they were, affected by that. So.
Right. Well, that's how people wake up, right? We all had people around us telling us certain things, and of course, at first we don't believe it because it's tearing apart our world at the time,
mm-hmm.
right? And suddenly we realize, oh my God, it's real. You know, these people are lying to us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, you have to, like you said, you go to the dark night of the soul, you know, and you're like, no, it can't be. And then you realize, yes, it is, you know. And then you realize, finally, you're fully awake.
Mm-hmm.
You realize, boy, I've got to do something. I've got to do something. That's what comes to you. I've got to do something.
Yeah, that's Jason Franks. Thanks, Dark Brain. Jason Franks. I seem to only just usually remember his handle, which was Jason Woke Up in Vegas, which I think is a hilarious name. Jason Woke Up in Vegas. It's funny, but he's a great guy, great patriot, and he definitely has the kids' best interest in mind, while also obeying the law. So,
well, with those kind of people and the millions of others that are in this country, and then the possibly billions of others that are around the world, how can we lose?
right.
Seriously, how can we lose? The point is, we're not going to lose.
Right.
We're not going to lose. It may take a little while for it to all turn around, but it's turning around.
Yeah. Yeah.
God is in control. Patriots in control. That's real.
Yeah. You can't stop a 6,000 year satanic cult in a few years. It takes a little longer. You know.
Right. This is, like I said, and of course I say this has always been planned as part of what we need as a society to mature and come to the next level where we're, so that's the big picture. It's a spiritual process that we're fulfilling as a society right now. We're coming of age. That's what opens the doors to the new reality, the new positive reality, not this fake,
right?
Not this fake BS that they wanted to push down our throats.
Right. Right.
It's the real joyous time where we see modern day, treatments that get rid of people's disease and all kinds of things. We'll see prosperity on a universal scale.
Yeah. Yeah. I really think we should make copies of the Constitution and send it to every person on the planet so they can implement it in their own country and make the whole world free. Why hasn't that happened? It's only 4 pages, for heaven's sakes.
Well, they're aware. Trust me, you know this is true. You just know this is true, that the people around the world that are seeing what's going on are looking to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why are they looking to us? Because they know we have this Constitution.
Right.
Not just this Constitution, but we believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll fight for it if necessary.
People have died for it.
Right.
Many people.
They know.
Many people.
They know. We are still the beacon, There are many other beacons. I mean, everybody who stands up's a beacon,
Mm-hmm.
But they still look to the United States and the people of the United States,
Yeah.
So, but we're not all important, but we are important,
Everyone's important.
All the other patriots everywhere in the world are important.
Everyone's important. Yeah, we're all important. Everyone's important. No one's above anybody. And no one's above
we all have
anybody.
pride in our country, right? We're all, So we're gonna stand up and say, we're so proud of our country, right? That's nothing wrong with that. Because we're not trying to denigrate another country or people.
No, all countries are great. All people are great.
Right.
Everyone should be proud of their own country, and they should be proud to
and their culture.
And they should be proud to be having peaceful relationships with all the other countries. That's another thing to be proud of.
Exactly.
And
they're all important.
There's no reason why that can't happen. I mean, if our leaders can't negotiate, then they shouldn't be there. Right?
You see, the people normally will move in that direction, except for evil, which tries to create division. You can see evil tries to create division. Evil tries to create war.
Mm-hmm.
Evil tries to take people out of that thinking that we can get along peacefully and live peaceful, wonderful lives, right? That's what people want to do.
Yeah. That's all we want
They
to
don't
do.
want strife in They don't want strife in their life. They don't want guns and things going off around them and threatening their children, and they don't want that.
No.
Nobody really wants that,
Right.
except for the evil people.
Yeah.
So
That's
if it
right.
hadn't been for these people trying to force narratives on us and force their plan on us, that you can look. Humanity has already developed to the point where, for this ascension,
Mm-hmm.
nothing can stop it.
Right.
Nothing can stop it. It's so.
Peggy Dancer says something interesting here too that we gotta keep in mind for the youngsters. You have to teach them how to read and write cursive first here in the U.S. now before you can teach them the documents. Yeah, because I think they stopped teaching cursive on purpose so that they could not cover that document, that very important document that the kids don't even realize it's that important.
Right. It's up to us to teach them why it's important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We came up in a time when we studied that, and it's still actively taught in school, and the importance of it. But we have think of how all the times you're growing up and the things that people were talking about, the 4th of July. Yes, they had fireworks and whatever, but there's also the intense patriotism that the kids can feel. I remember feeling it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, me too. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wanted to be a policeman.
Right?
I wanted to be a policeman or something like that. I really had a desire. But as I got older and this wokeness started to happen, even decades ago, I was aware of the fact that, hey, people aren't respecting police like they used to. And I was like, what's going on here?
Right.
I didn't really realize it was all this plan,
Right.
But
we could all see these little things going on around us and say, there's something wrong going here. There's something.
Right. And
we could see it.
That really was one of the things I wanted to do. And the fact that wokeness was starting to happen prevented me from doing it. So they're keeping good people out by doing this, and it's just it needs to all be fixed. And I think with Truth Social and hopefully Twitter gets free speech back, and the way that the administration and all these weirdos are attacking the idea of free speech is just it's unbelievable. It's stupid. It's stupid. They're shooting themselves in the foot and they don't even realize it. But if that's what it takes to wake some people up, I mean, attacking our right to talk, come on.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Well, they're trying to capture those people that haven't been given that education and indoctrinate them as much as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The ones that know better, they're never going to give that up, But anyway, it's just enjoy the process here, folks.
Yeah.
I say a lot, but this is all for us. This experience is all for us and our awakening, and we're so fortunate because we're going to see the brand new world that comes out of it,
mm-hmm.
the wondrous new world.
Yeah, and
we'll be able to say we had a part in that.
Mm-hmm.
I really think you're going to see unimaginable joy ring out around the world.
Yeah, that'd be great. That would be great. I mean, the place where you can see that now is like at a Trump rally. You see lots of joy, peacefulness, just love in the air.
They can just feel the energy.
You can cut the love with a knife there. It's palpable, and So,
well, that's what really transforms people, you know,
Mhm.
is love.
mhm,
That's why we should share that feeling with many people, right? Because they see that.
mhm,
Think of somebody who's, well, think of it doesn't matter if it's a Democrat or not, but someone who's still bought into the propaganda, but they've just started to wake up, and they come to one of these patriot sites, and the first thing they feel in most of the sites is love.
mhm.
The people aren't trying to trigger them. The people are saying this is not about, you know, red versus blue, or
Right.
you know, it's about
Right.
corruption versus truth.
Like what Jason Frank was telling those girls, you know, he wasn't
Right.
he wasn't saying the cartoon type things that the
He
left
wasn't triggering them.
would have you believe that they're like, you know, he wasn't
Right.
saying the things they were expecting him to say.
And there's something inside their soul was probably resonating with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what wakes them up, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's the
Yeah.
love. It's the love coming through the guys.
Right. Just like the
The
love
voice.
in our chat. Our chat is
Yeah.
the most loving. And so I love the chat. I love doing these shows. I love getting to see you all. I wish I could show every single chat, but I can't get them all. But I do get a lot of them.
Right.
Yeah.
These are all so important. All of these interactions, whether it be in the chat or people presenting or whatever, they're all part of a very real part of the solution.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, the bonds that are formed, the love that is shared
Mm-hmm.
grows.
Yeah.
It resonates.
Yes.
Collectively, it resonates. You know, you can't. Have you ever been around somebody and know right off the bat, you just have an energy to either, you can either sense bad energy, but you can also sense good energy.
Mm-hmm.
You can come into a crowd of people like a Trump rally, and he's like, wow, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you just feel it. It's, you know, or if you go into a bad neighborhood and whatever, and there's bad people around, your intuition is going off like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's telling you watch out for certain places or certain people that are coming toward you or whatever,
Mhm.
right?
Mrs. Combat Carl is in the house. Hello there. We are coming to the end of our show. I'm trying to keep these shows at 2 hours or less. We got about 2 minutes till the 2 hour mark. So I think we're going to wrap this baby up. We were lucky today. We got 2 callers. We got Mike, the fireman, and our good friend, Maxwell Smart. Thank you, Maxwell, for calling in. And thank you, Mike.
You're welcome. I'm sorry I didn't call a little earlier.
That's okay.
I went out with a friend to eat, and
That's okay.
and when I got back, I had a little bit of a food coma and
There you go.
nodded off. So
Well,
I'll get better over time here.
okay. We covered some interesting things today. And Jason Frank, follow him. He's on Facebook. He's on YouTube. So follow that guy. He's fantastic. Sunshine Organization and others. That's what Peggy Dancer says. And Mrs. Combat Carl, Truth Quest with Moriarity. Great show, like always. Thank you. Well, thank you very much for that. I really appreciate each and every one of you. No one's above anybody, and we're all part of the solution. So, and we're all doing our little part to make the world better. So thank you, everybody. Keep looking to the stars. Keep working towards a peaceful future. And we'll see you next time, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday nights here in the Truth Quest. Until then, peace in.